Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen miteinander, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 18th 6IR conference. My name is Christine Meyer and I'm delighted to be your moderator today. I do not talk about the program right now. We're going to do that in a moment with Vera and Lorna. I would rather like to hand over for a more official welcoming remark to the CFO SIX Group, Daniel Schmucki. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Christine. Yeah, in German we probably would say Freudscher Versprecher, CEO, CFO. There are some dynamics ongoing, as you might have heard and seen. So a warm welcome also from my end here to the SIX IR or to the IR conference here at the SIX Convention Point, the wonderful convention point here at our premises. And as usual, I was asked by my team not to be overly long, which I might or might not adhere to. Let's find that out then later on. You do not know how much passion I do have for IR activities. I will give you a couple of anecdotes then later on, but let me maybe first bring a little bit of more color to SIX. Who is SIX? What is SIX doing? SIX is basically a conglomerate of a portfolio of which covers the full value chain of securities in our country, but also globally, with the two reference markets in Switzerland as well as in Spain. So everything which goes from pre-trading activities like issue relation, investor relations, for instance, further on to the issuing per se, so IPOs, that is then covered in the trading area, secondary activities, the trading per se, then followed by the far most important piece, which is also somewhat the far most under the radar activity of our overall group. That's the post-trade activities. So after a trade matches, it goes further on into the matching, then the clearing, then the settlement and the custody, which then happens in Olten at the company which used to be known as SIS for some of you. Then it continues with data activities. So we're globally active in 31 markets around the globe with our SIX financial information activities. So that is the global part, adding to the securities value chain. And then there is a domestic part which is also covered, which we call banking services. That's the ATM management, Bankomat. That is debit card processing here in Switzerland for Switzerland, but also API e-billing for those who still pay the bills physically. E-billing would also be a nice contribution to ESG, by the way. And that rounds up the overall portfolio of SIX. Then there is also SIX exchange regulation, which some of you which are in IR might have had contact with or might not have had contact with. And here comes the anecdote. I used to be the CFO and head of IR of a listed organization, Zurich Airport, for 12, 13 years. And it was interesting. There were, throughout my whole career at Zurich Airport in this function, there were a couple of moments where my pulse got up from 55 beats per minute to 180 beats per minute. That was always when I received an email from SIX. And I had literally difficulties to really figure out, is it now the exchange regulation? Is it the issuer regulation? Is it the issuer services? And that has improved significantly. So every time I had contact or approaches from SIX, you probably naturally are getting nervous. Have I done right? Did I miss anything? Did I miscomply with an ad hoc ruling, etc.? And this is good. This keeps you awake. This keeps you busy, and this keeps you accurate. I would almost say. Then IR is also has every in every moment I have been active around IR activities, even before becoming a CFO. That was the most vivid part in my professional career, I would almost say, because you're roadshowing, you're meeting investors, you're reflecting your strategies to the investors, you get feedback by the investors, you get feedback by brokers, analysts, which you then can transport further on into your organization and then have battles. Sometimes you can even hide behind the market against or with your management, sometimes even in discussions with your board. So the market expects, the market has told us we have to adhere. And this keeps us honest to a certain degree. And this also keeps us finance people, comms people, IR people adamant in sticking to what we promise or to what we have promised to the market. And this is completely irrespective on whether I'm talking about a listed organization or a private organization such as SIX Group. We're user-owned, user-governed, so we do have one big universal bank with the 3 letters, which is one of our shareholders, owning a bit more than a third. And then there are 119 other financial institutions, Swiss banks, which own bits and pieces of our organization. So from the very top right to the bottom left, the tiny little private bank somewhere in Zurich or in Geneva, and they shall feel treated all equally. So irrespective of whether I speak to the UBS CFO or whether I speak to the CFO of a little Genevan private bank, they all have to be treated equally, transparently. Once you start weighting your shareholders differently, that might be the beginning of the end, because then you start getting inconsistent in sending out messages and also in prioritizing your shareholder or your shareholder groups. So in a listed organization, managing investors usually is regulated, and there are rules and regulations. But when I entered here to SIX and found out that there is no investor relation at all within this organization, I just started to pick up the cap table of our organization and went through all of them and met at least once a year with all the shareholders or the shareholder group representatives. So this is the ice on the cake. This might even translate into valuation appreciation if you are transparent, if you are consistent with what you do, with how you do it, how you run your investors, irrespective of the type of organization, listed or non-listed. And therefore, we as finance guys, you as investor relation comms guys, you have impact. We have impact on the value generation of our organizations. When I skim through your program, this is quite a colorful program that you will have ahead of you. So please enjoy it. Please be passionate about it. Also, when it goes into the breakout rooms, engage, raise questions, raise voices as well, so that you can take the maximum out of today. So having said so, and I'm definitely too long once again, but my colleagues are used to that. I wish you a wonderful IR conference and a lovely day. Happy to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. You were not too long. You were not too long. And I learned some stuff now. I learned first, there are CFOs with a good sense of humor. There are CFO. See, now I do this
we have it again, huh?
We have it again.
Yeah.
I see you in another position.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I don't know. We don't know, because you had several changes on that position in the last years.
Yeah.
And I learned also, or it seems that you like this shot of adrenaline when something is happening, which touches your business. So I was wondering, last week, for example, there was an announcement that your CEO, now here we go, is leaving SIX and at a very short notice. He's leaving, I think, at the end of
by the end,
January,
absolutely.
and the news starts at the beginning of January. So I was like, what happened to you? You were like, good, adrenaline. What was your first thought, your first action?
Well, I must say very candidly, when I heard of that news, which was indeed the beginning of last week only, it felt like a punch into the stomach because I loved to work and I love to work with Jost Eiselhoff. And then when the chairman informed that the selection was to Björn Sibbern, who has joined our organization like a bit more than a year ago, and we have done so many things together. We've done an acquisition. Well, we're in the middle of doing an acquisition of an exchange in UK currently, and we are trying to max out the margin of our organization. So this seems to be another very, very good tandem. And then, of course, the second thought, after having digested that, was, well, now we need to manage the whole stakeholder environment as a next step.
Do you have like a roadmap somewhere which you can take out, like first, second, third?
Whenever there are events, there are a set of priorities, and it depends a bit on whether it's personal events, whether it's operational events, financial events, but they all follow a rule. Be transparent, be swift, be quick, and also don't over prioritize one group over the other one. It's the same like with what I touched upon with regards to investor relations activities. So treat all of them equally, irrespective whether it's the journalists or the media, whether it's the owner of our organizations, regulators of our organizations in Switzerland, but also internationally, Swiss National Bank, etc. So all of that needed to happen then within 36 to 48 hours. But that follows a clear path and a clear roadmap indeed, yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you,
Welcome.
Daniel.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me give you a hand.
Thank you. And I would like now to have on stage Vera Güttinger and Lorna Davy. Give them a warm applause because the ladies are... You might come to the center. Lorna and Vera are responsible for today's... Oh, you're going to sit down. That's nice. No, stay. It's maybe better also for security reasons here. Because you were building this program together. We will talk about that in a second. But first, we would like you to answer a question. And it's Mentimeter, right? It's Slido. Okay,
Slido,
doesn't matter. We're going to have... slide here where you have the QR code, so you can take a photo of the QR code and then you can answer the following question. What was the main reason to attend our conference? Be honest, please. Maybe it's the coffee breaks, we don't know. We will see, huh?
Yes, or a beer. Maybe.
Or a beer, but later, not now. So, the QR code, please answer this question, and then we're going to build a magic word cloud and see why you are here today. Now, it's going to be built. Here we see it better. Networking, you see, networking is really, really always a huge thing.
Surprise, surprise.
Really?
No.
No, huh?
No.
The thing is that after the pandemic, as a moderator, I was like, maybe these conferences are not coming back. And then people realized how important the networking part is, and the real networking part. Learning. Do you see it, Lorna?
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
So
Hopefully to learn
learning
something is also often here. How would you like comment? Have you expected this?
Yes, actually, yes. So networking is always the part that the participants appreciate the most. So therefore, we also have a lot of breaks in our program that people can network and connect to each other.
And also when we created the breakout workshops, we wanted them to be more intimate so that you get to also talk to different people, and instead of it all being in the same room, you get to move around and experience different things. And to Daniel's point, we want you to ask questions. That's your opportunity to find out information. It's supposed to encourage you to be able to interact and take away and learn something from these sessions.
So one thing that stands out of the agenda this year is that the agenda has been carefully curated, based, you told me, on feedback from IR professionals themselves. So can you tell us how this has shaped concretely the event?
Yes, for example, the workshops or the breakout sessions that we have in the afternoon, they come really from feedback, from questions that we get from our issuers. We had last year, or this year, more than 100 individual meetings with our listed company representatives, so with the IR heads mostly of the companies, and they give us these topics, and therefore we have these workshops. And last year we also got the feedback from some participants that they would appreciate to have several topic sessions, that they could choose the topic they want, and therefore we did these breakout sessions together.
Would you like to add there something?
Sure, and we also looked to see what the trends were happening in other parts. We're fortunate, given the conferences at the end of the year, a number of our sister associations host their events in the summer. So what are the overall trends within IR, digital, artificial intelligence, the economic situation, geopolitics? So we sort of look to curate it to try and cover everything, with bringing in some speakers from external countries as well.
Interesting. And I really think you did a good job. We also have many women here on stage, because I do several financial conferences, and sometimes they have a hard time to have really more women on stage as experts, because they always say, we have you, Christine, and I'm like, I'm not an expert, as you have realized already, with CFO and CEO and all that stuff. So let me ask you, Vera, what were the main achievements of Issuer Relations 2024? What could you tell us?
Yes, so what we do, we support our listed companies with their, first of all, with their sustainability ambitions, which is now the trending topic. We have, last week, we have issued or published our first digital version of the Sustainability and IR handbooks. So it's really worth to visit our new microsite on that. So it was before just a PDF format, and now we have it really on a microsite where you can go through it. We can always make it more current, updated on a regular basis, not just once a year. So that's very convenient, I think. Then, as I mentioned already, we have our over 100 individual meetings with issuers where we go to their locations, or sometimes they come to us as well. We have organized and hosted 8 topic-related events in this year, sometimes in person, sometimes on a digital base, where we almost met all of our companies, our listed companies in a way, so we got in touch with them. And we also had this year, for the first time, and then I can also hand over to Lorna, organized together with the IR Club local IR get-togethers.
Very interesting. May I ask you quickly, I don't know if everybody in the room is familiar with the IR Club. Could you please answer 2 questions? What is the IR Club doing, and why is it crucial to be part of an association like the IR Club?
Sure. So the IR Club Association, we are a member company for listed companies in Switzerland. We basically, once the company is listed, we provide the next steps. So we work very closely with Vera and her team to introduce issued companies to the IR Club. For me, the importance of being a member of the IR Club is more than the networking. Clearly, that's something that's relevant for everybody in this room. We feel that it's a way that you can learn from like-minded individuals. You're sharing ideas with people that do the same job as you, which when you're a single person in your company, it's very difficult to perhaps bounce other ideas within your own organization. You are educated of the trends that are happening within investor relations. It's an ever-evolving situation. There's new technology, systems, partners, providers that are out there that provide information for you. And finally, we feel that through that, it allows you to elevate yourself within your own organization and demonstrate to your C-suite the value of your role and your position within the company.
Have you seen that somebody wants to meet you, Vera, here? It's on the list, huh? Met
Yes.
Vera, you must have already met this person. She was helpful. She recommended it. Vera?
There you
Yes,
go.
so happy to meet you all later on and talk to all of you. If the
And you
time
can
is-
also meet you, Lorna,
Absolutely.
right? No problem at
and
all.
just to add to Vera's point about the regional chapters, so we recognize that our members are scattered across Switzerland. So we wanted to actually, instead of expecting people to come to Zurich for all the events, we went out to the region. So, and we plan to repeat that next year. And we just feel that that also allows those people who are working in IR in a specific region to get to know their counterparts who they may not necessarily, they're different sectors or they don't meet each other on the road at conferences. So this allows them to build their own local network as well.
Thank you very much. And what we learned is it really is worth it to give feedback, because these two ladies going to do something with it. It's not just like, okay, thank you very much, some crust, thank you very much. You're going to do it, and that's why we have a wonderful conference ahead of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vera Güttinger and Lorna Davy.